So, Pastor, what's something about you that gets you genuinely excited?
Well, outside of cartoons, especially those classics like Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, and you'd have certain callbacks, certain Easter eggs and stuff that, hey, I remember this from that episode or that one. Apart from those, I generally get excited when people are excited about a particular task or assignment. So growing up, I loved, and still to this day, love drill, marching. Whether it be a fancy drill or regular parade, independence parade, whatever. And seeing everyone decide, okay, we're going to work together, we're going to look crisp and clean, and everyone working together to achieve this one thing gets me excited. Same thing with church, same thing with a class of students, understanding a concept or a sermon or a message that makes sense, and feel like, yeah, I get this. That gets me excited. When one on one person can agree on one thing and it's a light bulb moment, yeah, that gets me going.
So, what's something you've experienced, even if it's just a small step, that renewed your sense of hope or reminded you that God was still working in your life?
I recall finishing university, did biology and theology, and the plan was to study medicine. Started it, but even during medicine, I found myself passionate about ministry. And it came to a point where I had to make a choice between continuing medicine or pursuing a career in ministry, being a pastor. I remember dropping off medical work or studies and applying to be an intern. And I think I applied in September, October, and by November into December, I was asked to assist as a Bible worker in a campaign. And before the campaign was up, I got a letter informing that I was accepted as an intern. And that would have been in the span of 2 months, 3 months. And being where I am now and realizing how complicated it can be to consider an intern, to hire an intern, all the steps it had to take. And for that to transition within a few months, that in itself told me that, hey, God had something here for me. And I remember one of my med school lecturers was also an Adventist, a personal friend of mine. When I did my first or second campaign, she said, you're in the right place. And she was one who was encouraging me to stick with the medicine, finish the medicine, then branch off into me. She said, no, you made the right choice. And that just helped affirm in me that God has a place for me here. I still love medicine. I still am passionate about biology and all that stuff. But I believe that God is using me for here and now. I'm willing to continue to be used by Him.
So, in your estimation, what do you need to live a triumphant life?
Well, to live triumphantly means to go beyond what you can see. This means a matter of excelling, or at least seeing life on a higher plane. And to me, to have a triumphant life in these times requires more than just living for the here and now. There has to be some higher goal, some higher objective, some higher purpose that we are all called to. And the Bible lays out this ultimate purpose for us I think it's in Matthew 6:33, where Jesus says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything else will be added. To me, a triumphant life means seeking something higher, seeking God's kingdom, His values, which are beyond earthly standards, beyond earthly expectations. And God says when we pursue Him, when we seek after Him, and He doesn't make it hard to seek after Him, when we pursue Him, He makes everything else make sense. And to me, that conceptualizes a triumphant life, going to the source of triumphant life and letting Him sort out the rest.